Over the years, there have been some incredible team dynasties in Formula 1. The turbo hybrid era belongs to Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton, the early mid-2000s to Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, and we could be at the start of the next one with Red Bull and Max Verstappen. However, with every mega success story, there's a team that does the polar opposite and fails miserably. And with so much interest from potential new teams, there's concerns we could see more of these types of failures. From teams that have crumbled under the financial pressure of Formula 1 to the teams that were just straight up terrible. These are the top 5 worst teams in Formula 1 history. Number 5, Haas 2021. Haas were bad in 2020, but they were truly terrible in 2021. The one thing they had going for them was experience. The Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean duo had experience in bucket loads, but instead of sticking with them, they ditched them both and replaced them with rookies Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Schumacher had been destined for F1, regardless of how good he was, but many believe Mazepin was only there because of his financial backing. Neither driver scored a single point, with a high finish of P13 in Baku. The hot-headed Russian retired a total of 5 times, more than anyone else on the grid, and Mick didn't exactly pull up any trees. However, Haas is still there now, and they're showing shoots of life. Number 4, Zaxby. Despite their title, Zaxby didn't have much speed at all. With some background in endurance cars, they made the jump to Formula 1, competing between 1985 and 1989. When they finally arrived in 85, it was already a year late, and their 184 was already outdated. Off to a good start. The engines from endurance racing were the basis for their F1 power units, and I'm no expert, but F1 engines are pretty complex, and I don't think you can just change it up that easily. It took until 1987 for them to score their only points, when, believe it or not, Martin Brundle scored a single point at the San Marino Grand Prix. 1989 came around, and they used Yamaha engines, but to no success. Zaxby do deserve some credit. They were the only team other than Ferrari to use their own chassis, but in 5 seasons, 1 point is a terrible return. Number 3, Caterham. In at number 3 are the team owned by everyone's favourite football club owner, Tony Fernandez. The QPR owner founded the Caterham F1 team out of Leafield in Oxfordshire, and they were truly terrible. Sporting F1 stars such as Charles Pic, Vitaly Petrov and Guido van der Garde, across their 3 seasons in F1, they scored 0 points. Petrov's P11 in Brazil 2012 was the best they could manage. When financial struggles hit in 2014, they were forced to skip the 2 Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi and the USA. They were plagued by legal cases when employees claimed unfair dismissal during cost cuts, and they didn't even make it to the grid in 2015. Number 2, HRT. Running Cosworth engines, HRT really were really bad. In 3 seasons, they had 9 drivers, which I don't know for sure, but that could be a record, and they didn't score a single point. In fact, they were so bad that both cars failed to qualify in Australia in 2011 and 2012. A high finish of 13th for Vitantonio Liuzzi in Canada in 2011 was as good as it got, and the team went into liquidation. Someone at the team clearly had hopeless optimism for 2013, when Czech driver Josef Krau revealed he had actually signed a deal for the season. Number 1, US F1. Now, some of the teams I've listed are bad, terrible, and in my opinion are the worst in history. However, at least they made it to the grid. US F1 never even featured in a Formula 1 race, they were that bad. They were founded by Ken Anderson and former Williams and Ferrari manager Peter Windsor, and their vision was to promote talent in America, starting with the 2010 season. They were going to be the only team based outside of Europe, with their factory located in Charlotte, North Carolina. They had YouTube co-founder Chad Hurley on board, but even F1 CEO Bernie Ecclestone expressed his doubt. I could go on all day about the details, but alas, they hardly even made it to February of 2010, when financial difficulties meant their plans went bust. The World Motorsport Council fined them €309,000 for failing to race in the 2010 season, plus the costs of the hearing, and are banned from competing in FIA-sanctioned championships. Not that much of it matters now anyway. Well, they are the worst teams in Formula 1 history. Let us know yours in the comments below. And if you want more F1 content around the clock, why not check out our TikTok, where we'll be posting more regularly. However, until next time, I've been Joe Tyrrell, and I'll see you soon.